Bring it now. I'm live. Someone say hi when you can see me, because until then, I'm just going to keep drinking this hot chocolate. I'm also going to do some social media bollocks just whilst I get this all sorted out. Yeah. Where are you? Give me a link. Where's the link? Why can't I find a link? There's the link. Share to Twitter. Share to Facebook.
Don't mind me, I'm just over here having a sexual experience with my hot chocolate. It's so good.
Is there anything else I could share it to? Probably not. Hey Mel, hey Yasmina, hey Beth across the room. Beth, thank you for the hot chocolate. It's really nice. I'm doing really well actually. I've had a really good day, Mel. How's your day been? Like, I've filmed a video. I've edited 2 today. And now I'm about to do a live stream. So I'm feeling really good. I just need to get my thing sorted. Oh no, apparently I'm going up against Liam Dryden for a live stream. How will I ever recover?
Oh, that's upsetting.
Nah, that's a shit selfie. Woo for productive days. Yeah, Yasmina. Nice one. What did you get up to? Did you do anything? It doesn't matter if you didn't, but, you know. It's nice. Yeah, Mel, like, after some of the last couple of, a week ago, it's like, I've had some shit weeks, but nah, today's been a good start to, a week ago at least. It's been a good start to the week, never mind a week ago. Right. Social media bollocks done. I'm all yours. Happy Trans Awareness Week, by the way. In case you're not aware, it's Trans Awareness Week. And I am up for answering pretty much anything. But bear in mind, if it's not a question that you're prepared to ask in this chat, you shouldn't be asking me anyway. Mrs. Liu says, where am I from? I'm originally from Rugby. I live in Huddersfield. I've lived in Huddersfield most of my life. Somebody save me. Yeah, England, United Kingdom, Huddersfield. Job hunting, Yasmina. Nice. What sort of industry are you looking to get into? Me, it's the media industry. Unsurprisingly, I would hope. Mel was working today, currently making paper models whilst I watch and chat. Nice. Some crafting and chatting. That happens a lot in this office, but not on my end. Marketing and
something recently. Sorry. You did make a really cool present.
I did make a really cool present recently, but that was mostly because of an online makey thingy. Marketing and research, nice. There's a lot of marketing potential at the minute, especially with like how unbridled, I want to say, like technology is at the minute. You can market anything, and you can be so creative with that marketing. I remember we once had a guest lecturer come in to talk about the marketing division for a book series, or for publishers. It was HarperCollins. And she was saying like there was a book that was coming out that was about dogs, and so they sent out to everyone that was on the mailing list a little like plushy dog to be like, hey, we've got this book coming out. It's about dogs. You already like this author. Here's a little plushy dog. Buy the book when it comes out. So yeah, marketing's fantastic. When did I realize I'm a girl and wanted to transition? I don't have a point where I can pinpoint actually, when I realized it. I was young enough to know that something wasn't right, and I was watching. This came up. I say this came up recently. I watched me saying this recently when Pink News decided to reshare a video. Um, and I was watching. Well, I was at my nana's house. I was watching whatever was on the TV. I think it was the BBC's Doctors soap opera TV show, and there was gender dysphoria was the topic of the week, and I was like, I'm seeing a lot of similarities here. Then it just sort of spiraled out of control from there, and I became the myself, basically. What's everyone drinking tonight? Because I'm on hot chocolate with whipped cream and grated Mosheroth. How do you pronounce it? Is it Mosheroth?
I'm not sure. It's the
Chocolate.
chocolate.
Aldi mint chocolate. Tea is what Mel's on. Nice one. I love a good brew. I've drank so much tea today. How far have I gone in my transition? I've gone all the way. My transition is over. As far as I'm concerned, at least. Some people in HMRC might not agree, but my transition is over. I've had gender reassignment surgery. I've had hair removal. I've had voice coaching, everything. But yeah, complete it, mate. That is one luxury hot choc. Yeah, it really is. And it's made with love, I would like to think as well. Yasmina's not drinking anything, but I just had a white Kinder Bueno, so feeling good. They make white Kinder Buenos. I didn't know that. Also, yes, boo HMRC. Trashy Kaneko says, probably going to get some tea soon. I've just woken up and I don't know what day it is. If you're in my time zone, it's Monday evening. And I know that because a week ago came out today. I remember, I think it was last week, I woke up on Tuesday and was like, it feels like a Thursday. It's not because a week ago came out yesterday. So, yeah. What kind of physical impact health-wise did your bottom surgery have? In terms of physical, I was absolutely fucking knackered for several months. Like, I had my surgery over the summer of 2017 to try and like avoid it impacting university a lot. And I was in like, a good form of physical health by the time university came around. But then, like for a couple of weeks into university term, like because I was being so much more active, I wore myself out a lot and sometimes just had to take days off. But I think I've been the healthiest in my life since then. But I don't know if that's because of the surgery. It probably isn't. Or if I just feel better in myself, or like if I just have a better outlook on life now that that is out of the way. Because prior to surgery, the only thing that I could ever think about, was, oh, when am I getting surgery? When am I getting surgery? What's surgery going to be like? Do I want surgery? Yes, I want surgery. When's it going to be? What's it going to be like? And then once I'd had surgery, there was so much room in my head for other questions that I was like, maybe I should look after myself a bit better. Yeah, it's just a matter of being positive. Would you prefer being labeled as trans woman or just a woman? I'm just a woman. The fact that I'm trans, is like saying that I'm ginger or, I'm white. It's another thing to just keep, it's just one of those things. I am a trans woman, but I am primarily and 100% a woman. That probably would have gone down better if I hadn't have hesitated. But yeah, I am as biologically female as you can possibly make me, minus the chromosomes. Do you think going vegan has been positive? Do I think going vegan has been positive for me health-wise? Yeah, definitely. Like I've seen a couple of people in the past be like, I started veganism and then, I got thin or unhealthy and stuff. And I think, like, obviously everyone's bodies require different, levels of nutrients or different whatevers. My body just appreciates being vegan, I guess, because I feel healthy. And, the only thing that's ever really been affected by veganism was the price of my shopping. Ms. Leo, I hate the term trans woman. You are a woman. Exactly. Like, my mum hates the term trans woman. She always used to think, why do you have to call yourself trans? And I'm like, it's my unique selling point, but also I agree with you. But like, it's about representing people. It's about being there for the people who, aren't in the best positions to be outwardly trans. For me to show them that, hey, I'm a trans woman, and my life has actually gotten pretty bad since the days of me being closeted and stuff. So if I can manage to do this despite everything that I've been up against, and I'm still from a pretty privileged background as it is, I'm white, and you know I've grown up in a house and stuff like that. But it. I don't want to say it does get better, but it does get better. And me being out and labeling myself as a trans woman, purely for like a public face, allows people to see that it's normal and it's fine and healthy. But obviously, my gender presentation is female, so people don't say, "Hey, are you a trans woman?" They can say, "Hi, Ruby." You know, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. Any other questions? As I say, it's Trans Awareness Week. I'm making sure everybody's aware, so feel free to, go for that. Never grew. Oh, yeah, I'll start with that one. Never grew up wanting to be a trans woman, just a woman, a female girl. Yeah, exactly. It's like I think people saying that they want to be. There is a really scary, like, sort of internet thing of people saying they want to be trans. And if you're wanting to be trans, you should probably think about, you know, speaking to someone for a start, but also taking note of what that entails. Because, I have been through, every time I talk about being trans, I'm talking about my own experiences or experiences that I've observed. And my own personal experience of being trans was not something that, willingly just recommend that people sign up to. It's one of the things that makes no sense about all these, right wing media saying, hey, these people are pressuring your children to be trans. It's like, they're not. Because no one would put someone through what a trans person has to go through willingly if it was completely unnecessary. You wouldn't put someone through, physique changing hormones. You wouldn't put someone through body changing surgeries if it was unnecessary, if it was something that wasn't right for this person. The it's why the gender identity service is so, you know, broken at the minute, because they're just making sure that people, in the way that I see it, they're just making sure that people are definitely going down the right pathways, but they're also doing it in a somewhat transmedicalist way as well. So it has its own problems. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, female, woman, girl, exactly. Yasmina says, "Were my family supportive when I came out?" No, I don't think so. The way that it was presented, at least, yeah. My dad appeared to be very not supportive, but at least on board with it. And the way that I perceived it, my mum was very anti against it, or at least just couldn't understand. Very shortly after that, they very much switched roles, and my mum was completely on board with me. And she's I bloody love her. She's a fantastic woman, and I wouldn't be here without her. But we just butted heads so much at the start that there was no way that we were gonna build that bridge in the middle. But my dad set fire to that bridge and then blew it up, and I guess now he's on the wrong side of the river. Mel says one of the reasons I decided to carry on making YouTube videos is after I socially transitioned, fly the flag and all that. Yeah, exactly. Fly the flag. My flag's on the wall. Otherwise, I'd get it down. The right-wing media is so far past the line they can't even see the line. Yeah, basically. Miss Liu says, has being trans made you more socially aware of the plight of other groups, or were you always socially aware and active? Being trans didn't make me more aware of the plight of other groups. Being trans online made me aware of the plight of other groups. I feel like if I hadn't had the right kind of social media exposure, a lot of the viewpoints and stuff that I had were viewpoints that could have potentially been problematic or stuff like that, because I didn't have the knowledge or the awareness to know that these things, like the plights of other groups, I would have had no idea about half of the stuff happening to people of color in America if it wasn't for social media. And prior to being trans had nothing to do with that. It just meant that I was following the right kind of pages who would end up sharing those kind of things. So yeah, I would like to think that I am somewhat socially aware and socially active, particularly now. I try my best, and I don't really want to live in a world where people are facing segregation and stuff like that. It's bad enough being on the receiving end of it. Hey April, glad you made it. As I keep saying, ask me anything you want to know, because that's the point of an AMA Q&A. And this particular week, as I'm sure you're aware, is Trans Awareness Week. So that topic is entirely up for grabs as well. JH McDonald says, Ruby, thank you for being you. You're welcome, I guess. McDougal. What did I say? Sorry, McDougal. Beth is asking me, did I explore other identities before realizing that I'm trans or female? It's funny. I realized I was trans. I realized I was trans before I lived for a short period as a man who likes men. This was all in school as well. Like, that's how young, I was getting my head around all of this bollocks. I was in school and I tried coming out as trans. It didn't quite work. I basically got scared back into the closet by the actual reality of what that, actually entailed. But I knew that I didn't just like girls at the time. I knew that I also liked boys, because let's just say there were a lot of conventionally attractive guys in school. And I made note, and I took note of that. So yeah, I did live for a very short period of time as just a gay guy. It wasn't for me though. I just knew during all of that time that something was still missing, and lo and behold, I found it. I was missing a chromosome. Not that that matters, but anyway. Interesting. I should probably keep my phone away from me whilst I'm doing this. This is my go-to question, but what's everybody been listening to? Because I've been listening to the new McFly record. Cough, cough. I filmed a video about that McFly record. What? Look out for that on Wednesday. But yeah, I like it, and that's all I'm going to say about it, because I made my points clear in the video. The best of Duran Duran. How old are you, woman? You are allowed to like Duran Duran. Hunger Like the Wolf and Rio are absolute bangers, classics. tunes, and I won't hear a word against that. Yeah. Old School Bad Brains. I've not heard of that. Not heard of that at all. McDougal. It sounds like it's probably in the rock/metal era. Maybe some punk as well. Trashy Kaneko says a lot of Vocaloid, to be honest. I haven't heard of Vocaloid. I'm guessing prog metal, something along those lines. This is me testing my music journalism knowledge, just based on band names and what genre they probably fit in. April says, I have a question which I am having to think about a lot as I am on the waiting list now. Any issues from surgery or complications? Sorry if that's a little personal. I mean, it's fine. You thought it was acceptable to post in a chat, so therefore it's fine. Yeah. One, congrats on getting on the waiting list. That's hopefully you're not waiting too long. I understand that like these things take way too long anyway. Issues from surgery or complications, there is obviously, you are going into surgery, there are several complications that they make you memorize, some of which are very not fun, but basically the first thing I'm going to mention is swelling. The first time you look at the result of the surgery, be prepared that it's not going to look like that for very long because you've just had surgery. It's swollen. And well, I made a video on it. It's called The Truth I Never Told You About My Gender Reassignment Surgery. But yeah, basically just the first time I saw it, my brain was like, what's that? That's not what I was expecting. But it was just swelling and stuff like that. And also your brain just being like, that wasn't there the last time I looked. Yeah. Other than that, just things to be aware of: bleeding, infection. If you've not had enough hair removal, hair will still grow in that area anyway. And like, no matter how much hair removal you've had, unless you've had it all, in which case I'm jealous. But yeah, hair will probably still grow in that area. Just grab some tweezers. And stock up on pads, as in of the period description, because it's going to be a while before you're not using them. Been listening to the best of 1984 today. What happened in 1984 for music? I'm guessing Queen. I'm guessing. What did happen? 84 was like post-punk and stuff as well. So like, I think at least Joy Division, maybe The Cure, anything. Yasmina, I haven't been listening to anything new music, but I just finished rewatching the Twilight series. Ooh, fun! The Twilight series is an underappreciated, but still somewhat still a little bit cringy. Like, it's weird. I like Twilight. I think that the first film has its flaws, but the first film is still a good film. New Moon is a bit of a problem. Eclipse has some good stuff as well, but the best Twilight book is actually the little novella, The Short Second Life of Britannia. I'm really showing my knowledge here, and it's good. Stephanie Meyer had actually learned to write by then. But I'm glad you just finished rewatching it. The soundtrack is great. The soundtrack for Twilight was one of the best things about Twilight, really. Yeah. Mel's been listening to Slipknot. Mel. Did I find it difficult to find feminine clothes, fashion, etc. initially? And if not, was shopping while out the first times really fun? Shopping whilst out at the start was definitely not fun. I spent the entire time just kind of like, scared that people were going to judge me. I remember all I was doing was buying socks, and I felt the need to say to the person at the till, like, "Oh yeah, my friend asked me to get them." But I always, in the early days, I went shopping with my friends who could, help me sort of like find the things that suited me because I was really bad for style. I had no sense of style whatsoever when I, originally started transitioning, and I was like, "Yo, please come help me. Please come help." Um, I remember one of the first things I ever bought, I was still wearing about 5 or 6 years later because it was it was just so sentimental that I'd gone with a friend, and I'd bought my first brand new piece of like clothing designed for women, because clothes don't really have a gender, um, or a sexuality, or a gender, or a sex. Yeah, sex was the word I meant, but yeah, it was it was nice and it was special, but never quite got fun. Um, maybe now, maybe in the future, I can have some money and I can go on like a proper like shopping experience. That'd be interesting. Uh, my fave, Kenny Loggins, Footloose, lol. Yeah, basically. I love music I can shake my white butt to, lol. Basically, if a music is a bop and you can dance to it, doesn't matter how trashy it is, someone's enjoying that, and that's what matters. I was speaking with Frank Turner on my Fresh from the Scene music podcast, available on Apple Music and Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all those others. And we were talking about like how people write off music that they think is inferior. Um, but the fact is, there are people out there who are loving that music. There are people out there whose entire life revolves around that music, and you're saying that it doesn't matter. You're saying, you know, that it's terrible and doesn't deserve the attention it's getting. Of course, it deserves the attention it's getting. People are paying attention to it, and people like it, and that's what matters. You know. Also, the whole concept of guilty pleasure music is wrong. There's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. You shouldn't feel guilty for liking something unless that thing that you're liking actively harms other people, in which case, stop liking that thing. As hard as that might be. You've got to learn to let go. Um, you haven't read the novella, Yasmina. You have to read the Eclipse novella, Short Second Life of Britannia. Get it from wherever you can. It's probably one of the best things Stephanie Meyer has ever written. Yeah, Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson still is. Um, April, I have bought so many bad clothes. It's difficult finding your niche. Yeah, I bought so much shite in the early days. I found a website called Everything for £5 or something like that, and just the quality of the clothes was bad enough, but also like they just nothing went together. I was like, I'm just gonna throw this on because you know I throw this on because women are wearing it, which is that's no basis to make a wardrobe. But yeah, your fashion sense as a team was disastrous, Beth. I need to see like some evidence of that at some point. But yeah, for me, like even pre-transitioning, my fashion sense didn't really exist either. Like I just wore, I wore football t-shirts and jeans. I still wear football t-shirts now, but that's because I actually enjoy it. Whereas before it was mostly secondhand stuff. Yeah. But actually, when I did transition, my fashion sense was terrible. You attempted the emo hairstyle and it went badly. Oh, the full-on swept fringe. Or was it a straightened fringe?
We called it the Year 9 comb over.
The Year 9 comb
That's
over.
what we called it at our school. It
Wow.
was like straight across the forehead.
Yasmina really went through a scene kid phase, but loved it. I mean, I think like we look back on all of like the scene kid stuff and we say, "Oh, this was embarrassing," but in 10 years, we're gonna look back on, like, the way that people are, like, doing things now, and think, "What these people doing? Like, we've always done it." Um, I say probably, like, in another 30 years' time, we'll look back on Scene Kids the same way we look back on, like, 50s styles where people are like, "Oh, this looks really cool. I wish this would come back." 'Cause, like, I really dig the 50s, the, like, American Diner 50s aesthetic. I really like that style. Like, if I had money, I would probably try and style myself that way, 'cause it's cool. Um, although that might just be Fallout influencing me. But, yeah, the Scene Kids will be validated in 30 years, I reckon, when people start dressing in neo scene. Finding clothes that fit as a 186 centimeter tall trans woman is a right pain on the high street. Nothing is long enough in the leg or sleeve. Yeah, Mel, as someone who is, 6 foot tall as well, it's hard. And if you find something that's tall enough, it won't be, it will be wide, it will be too wide. And if you find something that's thin enough, it will be too short. Basically, that's, you know, um, I think just finding the tall collection tends to be my go-to, and then just wearing a band T-shirt or a, charity T-shirt. And I'm an activist. Some people are trans. um, yeah. Yasmina says there are few genuinely bad fashion looks, just low-rise jeans and double denim. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I used to wear double denim, but that was more because I bought a vintage denim thing and I didn't have anything to go with other than jeans. Um, I can see why people don't like double denim. I don't see the biggest problem with it, but I think as long as you're wearing different colored denim, like if you've got black denim jeans, and like, light blue denim jacket or whatever, that's fine. But yeah. Oh my god, same for being short, Mel. Why don't they make waist leg measurements like they do for masculine stuff? Yeah, that is true. That's something that you realize as well, like when you're, transitioning at a point where you're actually aware of clothing sizes. Um, like female clothes or clothes designed for women's bodies, they're all just like, on a scale of 0 to, I don't know, 18, and everyone's got their own scale. Everyone has their own scale. It's weird. You go to a shop and you're a 6, you go to a shop and you're a 10. What's that supposed to be about? But then, like, men's sizes, as well as also being small, medium, and large, and then extra large, and etc. They're all actually, like, properly measured out, and it's like, fuck off. I want something that fits. Could be worse. Jeremy Clarkson wore triple denim. Could be worse. Could be Jeremy Clarkson. Basically. But triple denim is crazy. Yeah, only Jeremy Clarkson. It's like shoes in some places. A 10 fits fine, others are too tight. Yeah, as a size 9, I'm lucky to find shoes. Fair enough, but also, sometimes I'll find that someone uses the European 42 as a size 9, and sometimes I'll find that some people use the European 43 as a size 9, and it's like, make your fucking mind up, because I'm a 43, and please just let me buy shoes that fit. I once bought this really nice pair of boots, and they fit on one foot, but they didn't fit on the other, and that was because of the 42, 43. But I agree, Yasmina, society just doesn't care about women. Apparently, crash test dummies were designed around the male body because, apparently women's bodies just didn't deserve a crash test dummy. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. They care about women's bodies when they can monetize it, though. And that's the tea. That's the tea. But that's the tea. Does anybody have any other questions that I can answer? Or should I ask you questions? That's the question. Who's seen the new a week ago? Who's seen the new a week ago? Next hair color, probably back to natural. Because I've been trimming my fringe. I mentioned this to you, Beth, anyway, but I'm mentioning this to everybody else now. Because I've been trimming my fringe myself, I've realized that basically, like my roots are down to about here now, anyway, on my fringe. But eventually, my fringe is going to be a different color to the rest of my hair because of the fact that I did a permanent dye for once. But I reckon, like, I'd probably end up going a red again. I have enjoyed being blonde. And I've particularly enjoyed being like, this kind of blonde. It's still similar enough to ginger, like to not feel weird, but also, I've just enjoyed it. It's been fun. Yeah. Mel seen the new a week ago. Yay. Nice one. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed it. I thought that one was pretty decent. How am I? Asked Trashy Kaneko. I'm good. If you weren't here at the start of the stream, I filmed a video today, edited 2 videos, uploaded a week ago from last week, and also sorted out some Universal Credit stuff. And basically, I'm just having a good time. I've got a really nice hot chocolate that I'm still drinking. Let's just go wacky colours. Yeah, sure. You can be green. I'll go pastel blue. 'Twas good, as was your podcast. Thanks, Mel. Yeah, like honestly, I really loved having Frank Turner on as a guest. Like I've already mentioned Frank Turner, but yeah, like that podcast episode was, I think, because of the time limit that I had, because it was an actual like officially officiated press time. The barriers I had to go through to get it asking, but yeah, just like having half an hour to speak to someone and only half an hour, it just limits what you can ask. So you have to be asking the right kind of things, and then you just end up saying, "Cool, that was a good interview." So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We have some further podcasts to finish making. Give us a clue as to what the other video is about, Yasmina. I'm assuming you're not referring to the cough cough not McFly video that's coming out on Wednesday, but the videos, I'm going to be doing 3 videos this week, and I'm going to announce this on this, I guess. 3 videos this week. A week ago that came out today. On Wednesday, I've got a cough cough not a McFly review video, and on Friday, I've got a cough cough not 2 years ago asked questions Q&A. Because I had some film, like I filmed a video last week. How did I not even mention that? I filmed a video last week, updating my 30 before 30, and filming a video was interesting. It's been a while, but basically, I just filmed a video and I was like, I've got some time. Can I get another video filming like in that doesn't kind of require the preparation levels that I've apparently hyped myself up to require these days, because I can't just turn on a camera and chat shit anymore, despite the fact that that is essentially what my channel is. But yeah, so I filmed the video that went live last week, the 3430 update, and I was like, right, cool, what else have I got? And I was just scrolling through, like, have I got old video ideas written down in a notes or something? And then I came across all of the already formatted Instagram Q&A like question stuff that I'd planned to do for a Q&A 2 years ago. And then I went to see Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, which was a very bad movie made by some very bad people, involving some very bad people, and also Eddie Redmayne. Eddie Redmayne's a good boy. And I was like, right, I've got some thoughts about this. And I asked people, what would you rather watch? Would you rather watch a Q&A or would you rather watch a review of Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald? and they said Crimes of Grindelwald. So I just put that Q&A on the backbench, and I was like, I've still got all these questions, and I could film a video. Maybe it'll be entertaining to film a video with 2-year-old questions. So I did, and it's coming out on Friday. And I'm not promising that it's going to be the best video I've ever made. It's not. It's really not. But it's entertaining, I think. And you know, it's got some certain factor. You know, it's not got the X factor. It's probably got the Z factor. Well, that doesn't work. The X factor doesn't work either, really, does it? But yeah, 3 videos in 1 week. Yes, Yasmina. Woo. It is certainly an achievement, and it's something that I would quite like to, you know, aim for as a, you know, amount. Because obviously we've got A Week Ago's coming out on a Monday. That can't really ever change as long as A Week Ago's happening. And then the 2 videos as well that I'm looking at, you know, Wednesday and Fridays being the days. Probably Ruubez reviews. I really like doing Ruubez reviews. I don't do enough Ruubez reviews, and I'm planning on doing like some, not just music, but like, you know, movies, books, games, and stuff like that. So in Ruubez reviews, and then just another video that's like, you know, a video that you've come to expect from my channel that's not A Week Ago and isn't a review. So we'll find out. We'll find out what the actual certified plan is, but you know, I just want to, whilst I've got the free time that I've currently got, because, you know, not working and not studying for the first time in a year, I just want to make videos, and I want to make them good. So, yeah, I think only making 1 video a week, 2 if you include A Week Ago, isn't healthy for modern YouTube as much as, you know, modern YouTube's always like, "Oh, remember to take a break," but YouTube's also like, "Don't you dare take a break. Your channel will die." So, yeah, who knows? We dye our hair silly colours, but we film it. Sure, why not? Yeah, do it. Let's do it. Go for it. Thanks for your approval, Mel. Yeah. Sometimes with YouTube, you've just got to say, "Do it," and then, you know, it might work. And if it doesn't, back to the drawing board. Yasmina, I love a good review vid, so looking forward to it. Yeah, I was. I knew when I was listening to this McFly record that the review is coming out for on Wednesday. I knew listening to it that I wouldn't be able to just put my thoughts and feelings into a short section of A Week Ago, or, you know, in a tweet or a Facebook post, because I have a lot of things to say about the first new McFly record in 10 years, as, you know, a massive McFly fan. And as a music journalist, I should probably be putting my thoughts on music out there, you know. So, yeah. What are everybody's plans for tonight? Because I don't have plans. I am currently. I'll be eating something later, but I don't know what. Hopefully, food. Oh, you've got That Girl stuck in your head. That's a tune. That is an actual tune. I've heard it live twice, and it was better the second time. But yeah, That Girl is a tune. I did consider doing a cover of it once, but that stopped. That stopped very quickly. Hmm. Mel's doing a bit of video editing whilst the glue set's fully on this model, and then bed. Up for work at 6:30 as usual. Oh, 6:30. Like I felt bad trying to wake up at 8:30 on Sunday for Formula One, and you know, I get that that comes from me being in a position where, you know, I've been able to sleep in so much that that's basically become my routine, and trying to get my body to do anything different is hard. Um, but yeah, waking up at 6:30 would kill me. I used to have to wake up at 6:30 for like college, university, um, even doing a paper round. But yeah, I was so bad at it. Like that's half the reason I quit my paper round in the end, because I just couldn't wake up. I couldn't wake up consistently, at least. In fact, on the last day that I was supposed to do my paper round, my phone broke, so it didn't go off in the morning with my alarm, and I woke up about 3 hours after I was supposed to have done my last paper round. Yeah, it was bad. Um, Beth's boss is lucky if you start work before 9:30. Lol. Um, I hear you get out of bed sometimes. Mel's always been an early bird. Yeah, I would love to be an early bird. Like my friend Steph is a radio presenter and she's always done the morning shows. And um like, you know, so she's used to waking up, you know, 5 o'clock, 4:30, things like that. And in yeah, it's hilarious that some people just have that ability to be like, cool, I am up at a time when no human alive should be awake. It just makes it's hilarious. To me at least. I find the little things hilarious every now and then. That's the same reason you quit your paper round, Rashi Kaneko. Yeah, it's it's not fun having to wake up just to deliver papers. It's nice to get the money, but you know, I always used to mess up. Like I'd get halfway through and be like, "Where's the paper for this? Oh, I've put it through that letterbox." Yeah. Um, Yasmina's body clock just gets you up at 6 a.m. whether you want to be up or not. I'd like to be in a routine where like my body is the one that's waking me up. Um, but the problem is if I left it to that, I'd be up at about 2 p.m., maybe 3. There's no stopping me once I'm asleep, sadly. The earliest you've ever done is 4:30, Mel. That was not fun. Have I gotten up? I don't think I've ever gotten up at that kind of time. Um, I've gone to bed at that kind of time. I've gone to bed later than that, but you know, being up at 4:30, I don't think I've had a reason to do that kind of historically. F1 can get early sometimes, but I don't think 4:30 is that early. The drive to work was wonderful. That's, that's what you want. The roads would have been empty. The roads would have been like, you know, what early days of lockdown were. There was no one on the road now. Now there's everybody on the road. But yeah. Do I have trouble sleeping through the night? Because you do, Yasmina. I have periods where I can't sleep properly. It's never really been consistent. Like what always used to be consistent was actually getting to sleep, because I did suffer really badly with like insomnia in sixth form. Ultimately led to me having a really bad attendance. But um, every now and then, if I've got something on my mind, I will struggle to um, have a proper good sleep. But yeah, I usually these days when I'm asleep, I'm asleep. Best last job, she had to set off shortly before 7 a.m. and it was a lovely drive. Yeah. um. Ooh, a fun question. What do I want for Christmas? I don't know. I I've never really been one for asking for presents. I say as someone with an Amazon wish list, but that's more for myself. But like, you know, I've always thought that if you're asking for something, um, I mean, I don't even know where this line of things going, but I've never just been good at asking for things. My mum would say, "Oh, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas?" And I'd be like, "I've got no idea." Um, I like the surprise, and not knowing means that you can have that surprise. Also, everything that I've ever asked for, I never get, so I stopped asking, which I think is what tied into the fact that I just don't ask anymore. Um, but I'd be happy with anything, you know. Um, what can I say? Don't expect to be given things just because everyone else is giving things. Um, it's a good way of living life, I reckon. But also, it it'd be nice to have a job for Christmas. That's true. It would be nice to have a job for Christmas. Yasmin says, "What's my fave part of Christmas dinner? Yorkshire puddings. As many Yorkshire puddings as you can possibly fit on the table. I will have. Um, gonna have to find some vegan ones for the first time this year. Um, but yeah, Yorkshire puddings. Yorkshire puddings definitely like because I didn't realize this until last year. Or it might have been the year before. Yorkshire puddings as part of a Christmas dinner is somewhat contentious. Contentious, is that the word? Um, it's an argument. It's a full on argument point because some people say that Yorkshire puddings don't belong on a Christmas dinner, and I'm like, what? Yorkshire puddings are the best part of a Christmas dinner. Yeah. Apparently, it all comes down to whether you believe that like a Christmas dinner is a roast dinner or otherwise. Apparently, there's some nonsense that means that you can't have Yorkshire puddings with a certain dinner. You can have Yorkshire puddings as a dinner. What's everyone else's favourite part of a Christmas dinner or alternative holiday celebration? Beth used to eat your Christmas dinner out of a giant Yorkshire puddings. Oh, I remember giant Yorkshire puddings. They were cool. Um, like it makes sense. You're given basically a bowl. You still put it on something else because it's a Yorkshire pudding. You're gonna eat that eventually. But yeah. Um, giant Yorkshire puddings. Ooh, Willow's in. Hey, Willow. Um, yeah, I'm glad you agree with Beth because I agree with Beth. And yeah, um, Mel says Yorkshire puddings belong on a Christmas dinner. End of. Absolutely, absolutely. I still can't believe this was a debate that I was having like a couple of years ago. It was more hotly contested than Brexit. Like, do Yorkshire puddings belong on a Christmas dinner? Trashy Kanika says the gravy. Usually, my dad makes great gravy. Gravy is good. Yeah, I've had some really good gravies. I've had some really bad gravies, but I've had some really good gravies too. Um, you can have Yorkshire puddings as a snack. Yes, you can. Have I said that? I feel like I've said that. Um, yeah. Yeah. You're late, but you're here. Granted, we're probably gonna stop in about 7-ish minutes because it's getting close to 8 o'clock. But yeah, there's a place in Meadowhall where you can still get giant Yorkshire puddings. I wonder if they're vegan. They're probably not, but it would be nice. Debating Yorkshire puddings is so un-British. I'm not sure if it's un-British because I do think.
Because if you're British, Yorkshire puddings are not a discussion. They just are Yorkshire.
Well, no, because I was having the conversation. I was having the debate with British people.
Oh.
I was having the. I was having the debate with Yorkshire people.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's disturbing.
But yeah, why did giant Yorkshire puddings go out of fashion? Probably because people were trying to actually use them as bowls without putting a bowl or a plate underneath it, and then saying, "Why have I got a soggy table?" Because it wouldn't hold the gravy. They shouldn't have gone out of fashion, though. That's certainly true. Because giant Yorkshire puddings are fantastic. Yeah, it was a plot twist, Yasmina. A Yorkshire family, and a Yorkshire group of people saying, that Yorkshire puddings don't belong on a Christmas dinner. Willow was waiting for Joe Biden to come on the news, but then they started talking about deforestation. I had to turn it off so my girlfriend didn't throw something at the TV. Yeah, that's something that happened as well, wasn't it? I'm really relieved about the results of the US general election. Man, I was really worried that we were going to have another 4 years of that orange dick, but we're not. Currently, we might have to drag him out, but currently, we're safe. And don't get me wrong, like Joe Biden there are problems. Joe Biden has his problems. Joe Biden, isn't the end goal. Joe Biden is, a stepping stone. But Joe Biden at least is a politician, and I think that's the important thing here. Because we shouldn't have the United States of America shouldn't have a president who can cause a world war with a tweet, and Joe Biden isn't that person. Yeah. Trashy Kaneko says, as someone from Yorkshire, I'm ashamed. Yeah, I'm not even from Yorkshire, but also Yorkshire puddings just belong on. That's the thing. That's going to be like, something that I keep mentioning now and a week ago about Yorkshire puddings. I really want Yorkshire puddings now. That's all I can think about. Willow's grandma made the best giant Yorkshire puddings full of stew. That's proper winter food, that. A Yorkshire pudding full of stew. Absolutely. Let's not get political, but yes, so glad Biden won. I'm also really glad. The election was 2 weeks ago. How was the election 2 weeks ago? Jesus Christ. I sound very Yorkshire. Where am I from? I have lived in Huddersfield since 1998, so I do have an excuse to sound Yorkshire, but I am from Rugby originally, the Midlands. And, I'm not ashamed to say that I've picked up a northern twang in my, exploits up here in Huddersfield. But, yeah. Yorkshire to 5 or 6 generations here. Wow. That's very Yorkshire. Born and bred. But yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping some things up here. Because we're reaching 8 o'clock. It's been an hour. I'm hungry, and all I can think about is Yorkshire puddings. I'm assuming we're not having Yorkshire puddings for dinner. But yeah, big up Home Firth, April. Home Firth's really cool. And someone from Rugby. That's what we like to see. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Thank you for coming along. I'm still planning on doing these. I'm enjoying these. I hope you guys are enjoying them too. And I'm glad that I could spend an hour, in a time where we're not really spending much time with people because of the scenarios. Like, I can spend an hour with you lot just chatting shit and, just having fun and answering questions and, talking about trans things, talking about veganism, surprisingly. I didn't realize that would become such a reoccurring talking point, but I guess it does. But yeah, keep an eye out for the 2 YouTube videos that are coming out this week. 12:30 UK time on Wednesday and on Friday. And you'll be able to see the McFly one from tomorrow if you're a supporter on Patreon. You'll be able to see the other one probably Wednesday. Who knows? But basically, if you want to support me on Patreon, you can see videos early, other than a week ago, because a week ago, like, I don't have time to leave a week ago unlisted for Patreon to see, and then like change it afterwards. So it just stays scheduled. Yeah. Just some further comments. Mel can't wait to get me flying. I can't wait to fly. I'm scared of heights. Is that an issue? Willow, enjoyed the bit you were here for. I'm glad you did. Have I tried doing an online quiz night? I could give a quiz a go. I did make some crosswords last week and I enjoyed that. So maybe a quiz would be interesting. Yeah, no problem, Mel. I think you can still like live streams. You can like live streams because someone someone disliked this live stream before it even started. But yeah, no. You know what to do. All that generic YouTube stuff. Like, share, comment, subscribe on my actual videos, not the live streams. But yeah, thanks for coming along. I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves, and yeah, I will see you in 2 weeks for another Monday Night Rubes. Will it be December by then? It might still just be November. I think it's just going to be November. Yeah, it will. It will literally be, right on the verge of November, right on the verge of December happening. So, I'm glad you have enjoyed this, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Adios. Bye.